Today on the show, I have the great Eric Hall of Red Wanting Blue. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Hey. Yeah. All right. I think that'll be good.
I am using my mug. Can you see it? There you go.
Oh, yeah. Beneath the grumpy exterior beats the heart of a dashing hero.
That's me. That's what my wife thinks of me. She thinks I'm grumpy. And she'd be right. Ooh.
Vintage Niagara Falls coffee mug.
Where'd you get it?
Niagara Falls.
Nice. Did you get it at the Canadian side or the U.S. side?
The U.S. side and the shitty gift shop in the the U.S. side is where I got married.
You got married at Niagara Falls?
Yep. U.S. side.
Damn.
To a Canadian.
Damn. Jess is Canadian? Did I know that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not.
I mean, I don't know it now. I didn't remember it, obviously. I
feel like you would be the kind of guy who would pick up on a, one of her isms of her dialect.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
There's obvious Ontarioisms.
Name an obvious Ontarioism.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, that's a brutal
sorry.
one. How'd you get past that?
Adult.
Not adult.
Yep.
Adult.
And she's there's some words where it's like the word leg, like your leg, and then lag, like you're lagging behind. She says the same. Leg and leg. My leg hurts and you're lagging behind.
Oh, that's a rough one.
I had to record her so she could hear it back.
Because she didn't think
she's like, she's like, I'm saying different words. I'm like, no, you're not.
Genevieve drives me crazy with that shit. Like, if I need to go to the garage to get something from my garage, or if I need to go get gas at a gas station, they're both the garage. I need to go to the garage. And the first time she ever said it, I was like, what are you saying? What are you saying to me right now?
Because your wife is Irish?
Irish, yeah.
That's right, yeah. So that's a whole different bucket of like real different stuff in there.
Yeah, a lot of worms in that bucket.
A bunch of same, and then you're like, wait, what is that?
Yeah. We almost had to break up because she kept saying crack a lot. Like, oh, it's good crack. Like, I was like, what? I can't be married to a drug addict. But crack in Irish is fun. Like, it was good fun.
I see.
And right now, my mother-in-law is staying with us from Ireland, and she has a much heavier accent, much thicker accent than Genevieve, because Genevieve has been here for like 11 years now, and she picks up on kind of the people she's around, like most people, but you could be fooled to thinking that she was like American sometimes until she says certain words like garage. Or eight. Yeah. She says eat. It's hard to say the way that she says. I'm like, you're struggling to say this word that way. Just stop.
You're exerting a lot of energy to say the number 8
into a dumb word like eat. Yeah, I don't know.
It's funny. Like depending on who you're around. Obviously, if you're here, your accent's going to be soft or rounded off. But then I'm sure if she goes back to Ireland, she slides right back into.
Sure does.
Thickness. Same thing with Canada. Canada wears off. Canada like rubs off on me in like 5 minutes.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you start saying sorry?
Cognitively.
Sorry, you from Saskatoon?
But I'll use a as a comment as a comma a lot.
Oh God.
It's a good one.
That's okay. It's not like American.
It's better than right.
Right? Yes.
Right?
That's way better.
Right?
That's way better than right.
Eh? Soft.
Another one that Jen does is that only happens when she's around her family or in Ireland or whatever, is instead of saying like, yeah, I agree with you. Yes, yeah. They say I. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. I.
I like that. I
And
like
little,
that.
she says we now a bunch. Like, oh, the weeing.
Yeah.
Talking about her son.
Uh-huh.
It's very, very funny. And stupid and funny and dumb. But
I love it.
but now we're in America, so I tell her not to say those words.
Speak American
Speak American, lady.
or go back to where you came from.
Whence you came. She also calls the Pacific Ocean the specific ocean.
Well, that's just wrong.
I was like, well, which one are you talking about if you're going to be so specific about it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Dummy. So what's going on? What's with all those hats behind you? Are those special hats to you?
No, it's just where I keep my hats because I've been limited on my closet space that I'm allowed in our house here. So that's where they've ended up.
So are Canadians also very, they don't let you use the closet space?
My Canadian doesn't.
My Canadian.
Well, in all fairness, we have a 3-bedroom house, and I have one of the rooms as my office with all my crap in it. So she's like, put your crap in there. I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So there it is. Usually the door is in front of it.
I see some guitars. I see a bass. I see see that old Nippon Gaki back there.
The old FG 300.
That's right. What?
Oh, check this out. Check this out. I bought this recently. I didn't know that these were a thing. They made like a reissue line.
Oh, you have a sec. I didn't realize you had two. Well, that's a newer one.
This is called an FSX3, and it's like a reissue of the Red Label. Like
interesting.
Like 00 style.
When did they start doing that?
It's been a while. It's like, I can't believe I didn't know about it. I think since like 2010-ishes. Look at that. See, it's got all like this stuff. It looks like it.
It's nice.
And then it's got like the modern.
Yeah, the three guys. What?
Have
does it sound right?
I haven't even plugged it in yet. I haven't played it since I got it. The band has not played a gig or anything, so I have not used it in the real world as far as plugging it in. But it sounds very nice acoustically. So
nice. I got my guy over here. Figured we'd have to do it.
Oh yeah. Which one is? Oh, that's a beaut. Yeah, it's like the hummingbird.
Yeah, it's hard to see the Red Label on the inside, but
I see it in there. What's the model?
It's the FG 300. FG 300. It's actually I need to.
Ours is the same.
Yeah, mine just has a different pick guard.
Same model.
And honestly, dude, I think like that. Mine could have had that pick guard on at one point because this pick guard looks a little bit. It looks a little bit maybe glued on.
Yeah. Well, so does this. I think they all are. This one's.
Well, yours is 1970 as well, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get this set up again because I think my basement has been kind of drying it out a little bit, which is not good.
No, it's not good. Same inlays. Let me see those inlays.
Yeah, same guitar.
Yeah. Same bridge. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah. What's the back?
Yeah,
what's the back look like? Does it have the stripe down the middle?
It does.
Double stripe. Yeah. Yeah, same guitar, dude. I mean, we talked about this before, but I love this guitar. I love it so much.
I love it too. Ooh, mine's out of tune.
Mine is too.
Yeah.
Mine's actually pretty in.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, yours is ready for action. Mine's been hanging on the wall. I'm using this other one, and the heat has come on in the house as of late, so things are getting weird.
Samesies. Yeah, I get worried about it. I don't know. Like you play all the time, so you probably have a more of a close relationship with your guitars. But I don't play. Well, I play a considerable amount, but I get nervous every time like the guitar sits for a while somewhere, I think it's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 months the guitar's ruined. I'm gonna need to throw it away. Time to throw it away.
Well, as far as I mean, I have quite a few guitars, so there are guitars that don't get touched for a long time, and you pick them up, and either you're like, "Ooh, this feels weird," or you're like, "Well, it's just as it should be." Acoustic guitars, I don't have many. I've never been a big acoustic guitar guy, but they are far more particular and temperamental, given they're a thin wooden box. So like they're far more, subject to the barometric change. Right. Sure. So it's it's everyone says that they should be kept in their case with a humidifier, which I don't. I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to set up
a pain in the ass that is, huh?
Such a pain in the ass. I know somebody that had one of those like green, the long green tubey things. Yeah. Or whatever color, I imagine they made different colors.
I think they were all, I think, and I know exactly what you're talking about, like the garden hose.
Exactly. What kind of world do you live in as a guitar player if you're doing that? Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, I guess once you have a guitar that you like and then you open the case one day and the top is split because it's dried out, then you're like, which has happened to me. So I have...
That's happened to you?
Yeah, I have a 70s Guild Dreadnought that has splits in it. And so that was like the first one. You're like, your guitar tech luthier is like, yeah, you got to keep these things humidified, otherwise they split. You're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It's like, yeah, this is possible.
yeah, which is it's. And then you go look at all the humidifier stuff they have available, and you're like, oh my god. So I have a couple things.
I use I put the D'Addario. I like the D'Addario packs because you can just buy the new packs, toss it in the case. It's nice and easy.
Yep, there you go. That's what I do as well.
What do you have any guitars other than some of those acoustics that you won't take on the road with you?
I mean, I have guitars that, every guitar I have, I would take on the road.
Sure.
And I have at some point in time, but then there's just the guitars that work for me. Right. There's they're always reliable, and there's other ones that are like, my Strat, it seems like it needs a setup like every 3 weeks.
Really?
So you're like, that's not, it just doesn't feel as like roadworthy for whatever reason. It's not like it's a junk or anything, but I've pretty much taken all of my guitars on the road. There's not one where it's like, this one's too precious or
what's all reliable. What's the one that you feel like is just like, oh, I take this out, it's just going to work. It's going to be great.
This guy. The old...
Oh, yeah, dude. That's a pretty guitar. I love that guitar.
The 62 reissue Telly, which I've had since new, and it now looks pretty old.
It's beautiful.
This is definitely the old battle axe. Mm-hmm. Rarely needs a setup. Always feels pretty good. And it works. It could fall over. Probably not going to break. It's fallen many times. It's, let's see here. It's got, just look at all the, it's got all the good stuff on there.
I mean, that's what a guitar's supposed to look like, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Pretty much in tune.
Dude, ready to go.
So and we're going to go, oh boy. We've got a private show that we do annually in Florida, like a kind of a corporate thing, family corporate thing.
Okay.
And a guy drives a van down and we put some gear in there. And basically when I take one guitar, that's the guitar I always take, fly with it.
Yeah. And you use those, you use the big like road case, multiple guitar thing. You just take the, pop the hood and you're ready to go. On stage. Like, have you ever we need to figure out how to convince Carter to do this because it's a goddamn nightmare. Just imagine a row of like, I don't know, 20 guitar cases that everybody has to like schlep in and out of a venue, it's brutal. It's terrible.
Yeah,
So,
and you guys, I mean, that's far more advanced. But even us, our band, we had at least 10 to 12 guitar cases between the three of us.
yeah,
Maybe and so that was the thing where you're like, oh my gosh, like to have them live in the the stand essentially. It's great until you can't roll that thing in.
right.
Then that's where you're like, oh, if you got to like go up the stairs in the back of like Smith's Old Bar, you'll be glad that you have guitar cases.
I told Barry I never want to play that place again.
It's awful.
I never okay, we got to talk about it. I had never played there before, and everyone's like, "Oh, Smith's Old Bar, it's a legendary, it's an amazing place," blah blah blah. John Mayer played there, and then I got there. I said,
"Not untrue."
I got there. I said, "Who gives a fuck? Who cares about this place? This place sucks." And like, you have to go up 2 flights of stairs. Plus, if you have a vehicle like us and you, you have to park like in that weird kind of behind the thing, whatever, and then roll all your shit up a hill around, and then to basically loading up a 2-story fire escape.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing that. They give you plenty of help. And the people are there great. Once you're up there, it's fine. Mm-hmm. But the load in and load out alone just makes, I never want to play there again, ever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care who's played there. I don't care who's going to play there. I don't want it to be me. Don't care. I hate that place.
Yeah. We haven't played there in many years. And we used to, I forget why. And this was like we haven't played there since we've had our current rig, which has been a long time, over 10 years. Like the last time we played there, we had a shuttle bus. And we loaded in through the front, where it's like it's just like the really long staircase straight up. And we didn't have as much gear then either. We still had plenty of, annoying road cases and stuff. Right. And like our merch case was like the biggest, most obnoxious case, that you have to like lay it down and, carry it like, a casket of someone that weighs 300 pounds.
Right.
This double flight of stairs. Nobody likes it. I mean, unless you're using backline in there.
Right. Yeah, well, backline. If you're using backline, or if you're a small band or singer songwriter or whatever, solo acts, sure, great. Smith's Old Bar is fantastic.
Yeah, or have other people to load your stuff. Period. Then who cares?
Then who cares? Fuck them.
Great, we love playing there. Load it in, guys. Load it out.
Some of the best places. I mean, my favorite places to play are places that have hands, and it's like, I could play. I feel like my son's behind the door.
Hello.
I don't know what they're doing upstairs, but I keep hearing like any place that like a million people show up, like the music, the MIM in Phoenix. You guys have played there, right? The MIM.
Yeah, we just did for the first time over the summer.
Yeah. You go there. There's plenty of help. You load in 3 seconds. You're set up in a half an hour, and then you can just hang out. Any place like that, favorite place to play. I don't care if it's in the middle of Skid Row. If there's plenty of help, I'm there. Love it.
And the irony of places like that, plenty of help, but then usually it's also a super easy roll in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where you're like, it would be fine if you guys weren't here, because literally you put the trailer door down and it goes right into the venue, and there's unimpeded, smooth surface to roll all of your cases right to the stage.
Yeah. Then you play the triple door in Seattle, and it's like 2 people helping for like literally the world's biggest schlep on the planet. You have to go down a drug-infested alleyway filled with chicken bones and dead birds. And then down.
Yeah, literally the chicken bones. What's up with the chicken bones there?
Don't know. Nobody knows.
The amount of rats that we saw there was like
rats, human poop.
I'd never seen. It was like a writhing pile of rats.
Oh yeah, that alley has its own ecosystem. I played, or I took.
It lives off of chicken bones.
It lives off of chicken bones. You just go there. Where did they come from? There's not even a chicken.
They bring them from all over the city and dump them right here.
That's right. They all come to this spot, and all the junkies feast. It's just crazy. Last time we drove by, we wanted to like drive down the opposite side of the alleyway so you could just pull through and have it be an easy load in. We got to the other side. There was literally like 4 people like laid out in the middle of that thing. We're like, we're not going that way. It was, it was crazy.
Just lying in the road?
Just lying in the road, lying right in the middle of the thing. Similar situation in Portland this year. It was, I had never been, we played, I don't even know the name of the spot, but it was right in the middle of like badness. And we usually play at like the Doug Fir or Mississippi Studios or something like that. And that's kind of on the other side of the river or whatever. But we were on the opposite side that I'd never been to before. And it was just like,
was this a downstairs venue? Like a newer downstairs venue?
Not newer. Definitely not newer.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember where it was. It was like, it was probably like an old like cabaret theater, but bigger, a little bigger, but they turned it into a bar. It was very much a club, but like kind of like a shoebox thing. But you go downstairs to the green room that's under the stage, which is fine. Uh-huh. Then I'm like, there's no bathroom here. Where's the bathroom? And I open up this like looks like a closet door, and there's stairs. There's stairs that go up, and at the top of the stairs, toilet. So imagine just a flight of stairs, and on
full
the land,
flight?
Half flight.
Okay.
Let's say about 10 steps. Stairway to heaven.
Yeah, indeed.
You go up these steps, and you're looking at the top of the steps is the toilet. So when you're sitting on the toilet, you're looking down a flight of stairs, or down a half flight of stairs, and a door. So like imagine just opening that door if you forget to lock it or something, and you're looking up at someone taking a shit.
Oh my!
It's like,
is there a sink and stuff up there at the top, or is it just the commode?
If you're sitting on the toilet and you turn, you can wash your hands.
Oh, while seated. Nice.
And you have to be careful not to fall down the stairs, because you literally your feet are hanging over the first step. So it's bad.
Like what's going on underneath those stairs? I'm imagining this like, have you ever seen the drawing of like the toilet in the like medieval castle? Where it's like the guy with the crown up, like sitting on the toilet, and then there's this shaft, and there's these guys like shoveling poo at the bottom.
Yeah. Just go straight down the thing.
Is that what's going on? Like under?
Apparently.
Or does that go out to the alleyway where all the chicken bones are?
Probably.
Rolls the poo up the road to Seattle behind the triple door.
Straight down to Seattle. All the shit just rolls down to the triple door alleyway in Seattle. I mean, it would explain a lot.
I think we've solved it. We have solved the riddle of the alleyway.
Figure it out. Never going back.
That's bizarre. Well, all right. I'll be curious to know what venue that is. But Portland. So when did you guys wrap up your tour? Fairly recently?
Well, that was the fall tour. So we're still technically on tour. So we wrapped that up at the end of October. So October 22nd was our last date in Indy at the Hi-Fi, which is always a fun one.
Outside? Did you play?
We don't do enough numbers for the outside.
Oh, okay.
You guys crush it there. I've seen photos of you guys playing there at the Annex.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's a great, it's a very good market for us. You guys should come play on that one.
That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, we sell out the inside, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
it's hard. I'm sure. Yeah. It's when you're doing that, it's like, it's hard to, it would really, the stars would have to align where it would make sense to come open for us at the outside when you guys,
we've been talking.
It's a strong market for you. I mean, the inside's not, I mean, you can fit a lot of people in there too.
I'm trying to think of what the capacity of outside, if it's just double what inside is. If it's double what inside is and we hit it twice in a year, that would be sick. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's
inside's like what, at least 300 people?
yeah, something like that. I can
At
look it
least.
up. I can look it up.
Well, yeah, anyway, yeah, we love that place, inside and outside. Outside during the summer it's very cool. One of the few positive outcomes of COVID.
Right, the
They
annex.
built that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we did one
yeah.
of the first shows there when it was the moving container. Did you do it when it was? Did you do it when it was that stage? It was like this makeshift moving container that they just cut a hole out of the front, built a stage, and they did live streams.
No. We by the time we got there, it was the whole sort of setup how it looks now. It's like the stage with, and then they have all the shipping containers that are cut open for like the merch booth and the concessions and all that kind of stuff.
It looks awesome. Every time we play there, it's around Halloween. And there's always like Halloween parties. They did a big Halloween thing outdoors at the annex during our show, which was not this year, but I think it was last year, and it was super fun. It was awesome. Really, really fun. 400 people. 400 people at the Hi-Fi inside. It doesn't say what the outside is.
Well, I think you guys, if you played there in the summer, you could definitely play outside selling that amount.
It'd be awesome. The annex is 900. So,
yeah, but I mean, I don't think we don't put 900 out there.
Well, you must do like 6 or 7.
I mean, I think we do 5,000.
5,000 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do 900. We do 5,000.
No, definitely 900 now. It's probably more like 5,000 for sure. Now that I think about it, it's probably like 5,500.
55. Yeah, we don't get out of bed for less than 3,000 people.
Oh, that would be nice, right?
All of our venues we open up. It's called open door capacity. So they fill up the inside, but they still sell tickets for the streets that are run parallel and adjacent to the venue.
Yeah.
So, so we don't leave. I mean, we feel like venues that have closed doors on the outside, like on the building, we feel like it's leaving people out. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's
exclusionary. It's closed-minded.
Yeah, I mean it's 2023, so open up the doors and
open the doors.
Austin, Texas has it right. They open up their doors, which I think is a little bit strange because they sell tickets to the show and then you can just stand on the sidewalk and just listen to the show, like, and probably have perfect sound. Like, I'm always worried that we're gonna show up, no one's gonna be inside, and there's gonna be a mob of people on the sidewalk.
Just like
we're not paying. We're not paying.
Or you'd have the crew of people that want to stand right in front of the stage, and then the rest of the people who don't
massive empty space.
Yep.
Wall, door, open door.
Yeah.
Inclusive.
Outside.
It's inclusive.
It is.
You know, it's just ideas.
They do that.
We're just spitballing.
Where do they do that everywhere there?
I think like 6th Street is mostly open door policy.
And that's like the sort of like the main drag, Broadway.
Yeah, it's like the party spot. Yeah,
the Broadway of Austin.
What would the what's the main strip in New Orleans? It's
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street. It's just like Bourbon Street. But like, yeah, it's just a party every night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're always playing like not there for whatever reason. Either like down at the end at the Mohawk.
The Mohawk,
which is like, it's like, you know where Stubbs is?
No. Stubbs is the barbecue place, right?
Yeah, but it's also it's also a venue. It's got an inside venue, and then it has like a pretty big outside venue. Interesting. Where like
yeah, we only play big rooms down there.
Okay, that's why I thought you would know Stubbs, because like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff plays there.
Oh sure. You ever heard of Austin City Limits?
No. Is that's like a venue on like the outskirts of town, kind of like a roadhouse.
Yeah. It's like it's out
real
there.
like three. like a real 3 45-minute set kind of place?
4 hours.
Oh, 4 45 minutes.
It's actually 4 15-minute sets, and then there's
How long are the breaks?
and then the breaks are about 45 minutes. So,
That's my kind of. I'll take that gig.
That's the best gig ever. Just hanging out, get so drunk.
Just drinking for 45 minutes in between your 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's the best gig ever. Imagine how you set up all your gear, play 15 minutes. But we clear everyone out. So people come in, 15 minutes, you play. Everyone leaves for 45 minutes. And then we bring a new set of people in for 15 minutes. And then we clear everybody out. Bars are closed. Actually, no, the bars are open. They still pay the bartenders for those, the break time. And then they charge us. We pay for all the booze. They charge us for everything. So
sounds like a winning model.
It's a good business. I was thinking about getting into it, but I'm on this side of it right now. So maybe in a few years I can.
All right. Well, let me know. Maybe I'll invest in that.
Yeah.
I got 100 on it.
100?
Yeah.
Can I get you for 2?
Well, we'll see. You got to see the business plan. I don't know what that ROI is.
I think I ROI, Rogers, omnipresent inclusiveness. I don't know.
Yep.
It's just a weird 3 words to come to your head at that quick. So what are you doing? What are you doing there? You recording? Are you guys have a record coming out? What's going on?
We do. We've got it's finally all mixed and mastered. So we're done. We've taken our sweet time.
You haven't taken your sweet time quite like Carbon Leaf has. But
recording let's have a contest here. What, you guys are currently recording a new record?
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the Carbon Leaf record. So yeah, we promised. We did a Kickstarter campaign for a new record, I think in 2019. And it was 2018, end of 2018, maybe 2019. And then it was supposed to come out 2020, pandemic happened, but we were still recording, recording the album during that time. And then, and then recording for us it's just all the little minutia, like, like this needs to go up a dB or whatever. And it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And then they all got mastered. And then we redid mixes and sent it back to mastering. It's done now. So that's a After the Gig exclusive.
Ooh.
It's done. There's this one guy on the internet that commented on every single post that we did over the course of our fall tour, like just your daily posts, like, hey, Seattle, see you tonight, whatever. Every single post underneath was like, can we please get an update on the? I mean, granted, we probably should update people at some point, but every single one, is there an update on the album? And then every post it would get like angrier and angrier and angrier. So he would be like, these guys don't even have the decency to update their fans on their album and all this. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like, it's crazy. I mean, they paid for it already. So
yeah, one can understand, but
it's not like you're waiting. It's not like you're waiting on your living room TV and we're just not telling you when you're going to get your TV. It's
true.
It's art. It takes time, but to that guy, if you're listening, it's done. He didn't even think that we were recording it. He thought, has it been shelved? Is it coming out? What's going on?
I gotta hand it to that guy for his dedication on.
He wants to hear the album.
To every single post. Posing that same question
every day,
and rightfully so. I mean, Scott on stage has been saying that we're going to have a new record out in the next 5 minutes for like 2 years. So, but fortunately, we not that I've seen, we don't have our dedicated, laser-focused fan or critic, however you want to put it, posing the question of like, okay, you said it was going to come out. Where is it?
Yeah, where is it, bud?
But yeah, no, okay, you guys have us beat, because we didn't start recording ours until, let's see, timelines, 2020, until we started in 2021.
Okay.
So we're like, probably, I don't know the date off the top of the hand when we recorded the first song. We've released a single. And that was like a year ago. Yeah, that was like a year ago. So that was.
We also released a single a year ago.
But see, you know what, folks? Here's how we guys and bands have to look at it. We need to really slow drip these things out, because when you just dump an album out there, it's as soon as you put it out, the clock starts running. Mm-hmm. 11 months, 29 days, and counting down until that last day, and then whoever the people are in the industry, the promoters and whoever is like, well, what do they have that's new? You're like, well, they put out a record a year ago. It's like, well, that was a year and 5 minutes ago. So what's next? You're like,
it's like, what?
So we gotta drag these things out.
I agree with the drag out. I agree.
If I had my druthers, we would release this record over another entire year, releasing basically one song a month until the whole record is released, and then the record's out. And then we could provide a whole bunch of other stuff too once that record comes out. But
I agree.
And also, you put it out there, and there's so much to listen to and consume now, where it's like, even for me, like, there's lots of bands that I like, but it's like getting to know records is like it's just not, I've been trained differently now. I don't have just like a CD that's in the car all the time like I used to, where it's like you have these things that you cycle through. I'm sure people still do, but I've been trained by technology, where it's like sort of, you can skip around to all these different things, and then a new thing comes and you're distracted by that. I'm listening to this now, and then there's this other thing, I'm listening to that now. Where, gives people the chance to get to know each song, whether there's merit there or not, but at least gives people a chance.
Right.
But, prolongs all of that work that goes into it. 'Cause, there's some bands that work really fast that can pump out a record in a matter of months, which good for them, but that's not us. So we need to, need to be able to get a much longer runway out of all that work that goes into it.
Right. I don't know if were you into Incubus at all?
I very much was. That was a formative band for me in the year 2000, 2001 through 2003. Crow Left of the Murder was like the last record of theirs that I listened to and really loved.
Me too.
But yeah, massively formative band for me.
So Crow Left of a Murder, they released, I don't know if it was, I guess it wouldn't have been YouTube videos or whatever, but I think they had a DVD of the making of that record. And mm-hmm. I think they do. Does this sound familiar to you? Did you ever watch this? It was behind the scenes footage.
No, that doesn't sound familiar to me, but I'm surprised. I remember there was a bunch of footage of them making Morning View.
Right, because they had the Morning View sessions.
Yeah. Anywho, no. What is this? Where is it?
I don't know where. It must be on YouTube at this point now, but it was when they were when the DJ was experimenting more with like the Chaos Pad and actually doing more like keyboard stuff. Mm-hmm. Adding some of those elements into that record, but he was they made that record in like 5 or 6 days, maybe, or it could have been at the most like 2 weeks, something like that, from start to finish. I think from writing the songs, you never know what kind of ideas Brandon or whoever brought to the table before the recording sessions, but I think start to finish, that whole album was recorded in like 2 weeks, which is bananas. Because
Yeah.
I mean, and they tracked a lot of it live, which helped to that
Yeah.
process. But I mean, you got to go back and watch some of that stuff. It's very interesting.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. I know I could be wrong, but I think there were some of those songs that they were playing like on the road, like when they were on tour before they recorded the record that they were like developing.
Okay.
Because I remember, Mike Einzinger talking about like the instrumental part, and I think what's that song called, Pistola? It's got like that breakdown where it's like very unique, kooky kind of guitar playing, guitar solo in that, and that was but that was sort of developed improvising over that, and then it sort of solidified over time, I think, them playing on tour, if I recall the story correctly, to then it was like crystallized into like an arranged part, but it had many different iterations, that section leading up to that.
Yeah. Okay. So
you got some information here?
I got some info. So I'm not going to play it right now. And that was also one of the first albums that Mike didn't leave PRS, but started using more like
Jazz Masters and box amps. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He left. Yeah. It was mostly like, I think, Jazz Master and Telecaster, and Vox amps and like fuzz pedals, and like the modern Mesa sort of clean and high gain stuff was then left behind, which, again, that was one of those things too, things were just, I think, timing out for me in like what I was interested in, and that band was tracking along with what they were doing as I was sort of trailing behind on being interested in like new things and those sorts of sounds, like then getting into the more like the vintage and classic sounding guitar stuff and things like that.
Right. Which, I mean, when I first heard that album, I was just like, oh my God, everything sounds so open and like live sounding. And it was very strange to me, just coming from them at the time. Yeah. But it was like super ahead of its time, because a lot of people started having that sound, those really open live drum sounds, rather than like dead or, super cut up sounds. But I just text you the link to that video. I guess it's only like 8 minutes long. And for whatever reason, I thought it was like this long half-hour documentary or whatever, but it's 8 minutes long of them just in the studio doing this stuff. And I'm pretty sure Mike goes through his entire setup in this video. I could have dreamt this. I don't know.
Maybe it's only 8 minutes because it took him 8 minutes to make the record, it sounds like.
Maybe. I mean, it was quick. I remember listening to that, like the girl I was dating at the time, I listened to that record in the car all the time, and she was like, can we listen to NSYNC today? Because I would listen to the same shit over and over and over again. Like, how do you do that? Everyone I've ever been in a car with, like, how do you listen to this over and over again? Because I'm listening to something different every single time. So every time you learn a little something. You hear how one guitar part's going, how one drum part. Then you listen to like the production, like, oh, how do they make that sound? Like, there's so much to get out of it. So many different ways to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. A record. I mean, that was one of those records for me. It was probably in the car CD player for, I'm guessing, probably an entire year.
Yeah.
Another record that I've probably listened to more than any other record is, do you like Iron and Wine?
What's Iron and Wine?
It's a band, Sam Beam.
No, don't know it.
Don't know Iron and Wine?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Okay. Well, they have a record called Kiss Each Other Clean that came out in like the...
Kiss Each Other Clean?
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Like like close to 2000, maybe it was probably like 2007 or 2008 or something.
Okay. I'm going to try something.
Highly recommend listening to that record. The super cool production and everything. And it was one of those ones that stayed in the car and I listened to endlessly.
Is this a new album? When did this album come out? Which album is it?
It's called Kiss Each Other Clean, and I think it's like 2007 or 2006 or 2008, somewhere around there.
Why can't I find it? Kiss Each Other. I should just type in Kiss Each Other Clean. They've released a lot of stuff. That's why I can't find it.
Yeah. There's been quite a few things between then and now.
I'm trying to see if I can play some of it and have you hear it, because I can probably. Let's see.
I was walking.
You can hear it?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Where the names were not burned along the wall. Saw a building high as heaven.
I don't want to be demonetized. Well, not that I'm monetized at all, but I don't want it taken down.
Yeah. Well, that record, just like the Incubus record, where it's like opened a door for me into a whole different world of like sounds and styles and stuff, approaches for, like a rock record. This was the first record that I heard that was like, oh, I love this record, and it does not revolve around guitar whatsoever.
Right.
Very like layered with a lot of different instrumentation. It's like, a lot of the songs are like, it's like the sum of all of its parts. It's like, a bunch of intertwining over, layered, very like sort of orchestrated.
Sure.
Rather than just like, it sounds like a band playing. So that was a record that first was like, I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is another way you can do it. Right.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's so interesting how just like a record can just do, like, it just opens you up to whatever, how like during the same period of time where multiple artists can just open up completely different doors of possibility. And then, obviously then it trickles down to other people, let's see. Now this is pretty cool that I can actually play it and you can hear it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I can hear it good. I can hear it just fine.
Learning things. All right, so Carbon Leaf also has a song from the 1980s that's named 1983.
Okay.
And we didn't know that you guys had a song like that. And since it's the only song, I didn't have this planned, but since it's the only song that you guys have out as a single, and I can play this and you can hear it, and it's on the recording, do you want to talk about 1984, the song, and how it came to be and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Yeah, sure.
What the fuck? I can't find it.
The song?
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, Hey 80. Oh, it's called Hey. You didn't correct me. It's called Hey 84.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's called Hey 84.
All right, here we go. All right, first of all, is Dean ever going to not play the Rototoms?
No, because I won't let him. I always what's the word I'm looking for? I'm the biggest cheerleader for the Rototoms. I actually found myself looking for a set of Rototoms on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. In anticipation of this, I was like, oh, I was thinking about you and Rototoms came to my mind. Uh-huh. So that makes a lot of sense. Here we go. Is that guitar? Yeah.
I really like this song.
Used to come with this beat that knocked me out. It was so much fun. It was so
I like it a lot too,
much fun.
but definitely.
On video arcade.
All right, I'm gonna pause it.
Hey, 84.
All right, it's such a good song. It's a really good song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely new territory for Red, White, and Blue stylistically, in you know a few different ways. But yeah, it's like it was designed to be fun, you know,
Right.
which is it's an odd thing where it's like you don't always like sort of think about that when going into making songs, you know. And then with this record, that was the first song that we wrote and arranged and recorded and everything. So that sort of like that was our baseline right there. It's like, okay, well, this is fun. So now from here on, we don't want to do anything that doesn't feel fun.
Interesting.
So all of the demos and stuff we would get before we would go track them. We would always get in the room and like play them as a band. So then we had the feel of playing them as a band outside of like the demo realm where everyone's just, you know, overdubbing on stuff. So then, and then if it didn't feel fun to play and feel like you're like, oh, this feels like a song that the band can play and it's going to translate, then it's like, well, we're just not going to waste our time doing it.
Right.
Because I'm sure there's some songs where it's like you demo them and you record them and you're like, oh, this is really happy about this. And then when you go to play it, for some reason, it just doesn't translate
Right.
in the same way.
Yep.
And then it's kind of a letdown. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we tried to avoid having any of those songs. And this song was sort of set the tone for that. So
Yeah. Well, because when I heard you guys play it live, it felt like I was listening, not like I was listening to the record, but it had the same energy. It didn't feel like it was missing anything. So
Right.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, I'm excited now that you said that was kind of set the bar for, you know, making a really fun record. I'm really excited to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm excited to release the next song. We've been playing another song live now for, I guess, a year that we've not released a recording of, but we've been playing it basically every show, and like people who come to our shows now know the song.
That's cool.
And you know, whoever's buying the live show recordings and stuff, there's plenty of live versions out there, but it's another one that's like the same. It was the same sort of idea.
Okay.
Very
same
much,
vibe.
you know. Yeah. And actually that one for me, like I really like the recording of it, but it's the thing where it's like, it's kind of, I prefer how it is live as opposed to the recording.
Yeah. Well, you're always going to have that difference, you know. I remember listening to records I really liked and then going to see a live show, and it just blew me away. It was even better. So I think there's also something to be said about the production, making that piece and then also having a different version of it live. Like, I don't know how we're going to repeat or perform a lot of the new songs that Carbon Leaf has. So that's always kind of a game in itself. Like, just
it really is
relearning what you did and like relearning the forms. And we haven't played anything except for Love for Sale live, which I think is like, I think we kind of have to start doing that, because Barry keeps introducing Love for Sale as a new song. It's a year old. Everybody that we played for heard it. So it's like, oh, we want to play a new song, and then we play Love for Sale. I feel like it's a letdown for people. It's like, we've heard it. It's not new.
Where's the guy in the comments being like, this is not a new song?
It's probably there. I mean, it's just a matter of time before those home, quiet, private conversations turn into internet garble. You know?
Yeah. Same for us with Hey 84. Like, we've been playing the song for over a year.
Yeah. But it's
technically a new. It's newer than all of the other songs.
Yeah, it says single 2022, so it's not that new.
No, it's not that new. But more to, you know, more to come. Yeah, and this is, the song has not gotten old playing it yet. And it's actually, for me, it's like a challenging song to play.
Yeah. So how do you get that sound? How do you get that sound that's in the intro? That's a cool sound. You can play it again. Yeah, it's super cool.
So it's just like, it's fuzz that's really dry, and then it's playing this, which it already kind of sounds like that.
Gotcha. Sounds
so
terrible.
Just like this.
Sounds really awful.
Oh,
there. Oh man.
I mean, acoustically close enough. You get the gist.
Yikes. Well, that's cool. It's cool. But now, when you're playing it, so you have the dry fuzz, but it sounds almost like robotic, like mechanical.
That's
is
like
there like compression or something? It sounds like there's something else going on. It's weird.
Well, it's just how the parts play, because it's open string and then hammer on, so it's like it chokes it off really quick.
Okay.
And the fuzz is like kind of gatey.
Because it has almost like a harmonic quality to it.
Yeah, I think it's the combination of where it's like way up there on the neck, and it starts with like the open B and the open E, and then hammering on gives it like an overtone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like it's like a.
That's what I meant to say. It has like an overtone.
Yeah. On its own, even when you don't play it with fuzz, it already sounds like that kind of thing, and then you put the fuzz on it, and it makes it sound like that sort of like 8-bit arcade sort of sound.
Yeah, it's rad. It's super rad.
So yeah, it was one of those things where it was just dicking around,
right?
And you're like, oh, that's kind of sounds weird.
Yeah, I've been struggling a lot with like finding interesting drum sounds, because I've been recording and producing my own stuff a lot more at home, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit in this rut of having the same type of sound, just due to my limitations of recording gear that I have here. So I feel like I'm leaning into the things that I know will work and kind of sound good, but I'm having a hard time exploring. Do you ever get into that, like with your guitar playing? How do you is it easy for you to find new sounds that you're interested in, and rather than like stick to things that you already have in your pedal board or set up?
Yeah,
it's a pretty good question, right?
It is a pretty good question. As of late, it's been pretty easy, and I don't really know why exactly. I think it also helps that, again, like making a record over a period of time gives you a chance to sort of like, over the time, you sort of stumble on these things, and then I've got like sort of new, tricks in the bag or whatever that then you can sort of implement or find spots for. One thing where it's not even necessarily like this is a new thing for me as far as like a sound or like a way to play a part or an approach or something, where it's just more finding something that is like a stark juxtaposition to what's going on. So something that seems out of place, like finding something that fits, but it's like not what you'd expect. So then it's like contextually it's new, because it's like it's like the thing of like, when you go to the fancy ice cream shop and it's like, this is the chocolate with cayenne pepper ice cream. You're like, oh, that sounds awful. But then you try it and you're like, actually it's pretty good.
Yeah, it works.
But it's like because it's like, well, everyone's had chocolate ice cream like a million times.
Right.
So you got to try to put something else with it that makes it different.
Yeah.
Sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. So,
that's I mean, it makes perfect sense.
That's been, yeah. So it's like, I guess if I was producing a track and it came to the drums or something, and it's like, if the song is starting out and it's like, something that's very like singer-songwritery and like folk, then it's like, well, the drums need to not be that at all.
Right.
Like something that's like from a different realm to then mash up with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because again, yeah, it's just like it's a context thing. Because again, yeah, it's hard to. I mean, everything's been done.
Right.
At infinitum.
Right.
So to be like, I'm gonna try to do this thing that others have done, but like try to do it better. Mm-hmm. Like what's the approach there? It's like, that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's like you're probably not going to do that.
And probably not going to achieve that.
Yeah, and it's a weird like, it's a weird bar to set for yourself, because you're kind of setting yourself up to be never ever want to listen to it again. Because if you don't achieve what you wanted to achieve, that specific thing, then it's never going to sound right to you. But if you like say to yourself, I like how you put that. If you say to yourself, I want to make this song, the singer-songwriter song, whatever it may be, that for an example, but it can't have that like goosh snare drum that every single thing has. It can't be like a train beat on brushes. It needs to be something completely different.
Yeah. What
can I do to try to achieve something different but still make it work? Yeah.
Not be, cool. Not have it. Yeah. Cause that's, it's the finding the right thing that it can stick out, or it's noticeable in a good way, but doesn't stick out in the way where you're like, that doesn't belong there at all.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the main issues that I had when I'm making songs. I'm like, all right, I know what's gonna work. I know what should sound right or whatever in this context. This song kind of sounds like this, so I should do that. It's hard to get out of that. You have to actively like think like that. You have to actively be searching for like, all right, I know what would work, but I need to get away from that,
Yeah. And I think that's helpful, because what would work. So what the expectations are that are set up in that framework, and then finding the places where you defy the expectation or do the little trick, like go in the direction, whether it's a sound, whether it's a part, whether it's the arrangement, where it's like, as you're everyone's listening to it, and it's something that's, all these things are familiar, and what's going to happen next, and that's where you do the deviation, where it's like, oh, that was somewhat surprising, so therefore exciting, and makes you want to listen again,
right?
To like sort of like try to understand it better as a listener, but then also when you're like making these things, like those are the things that make me enjoy listening to it myself, for the stuff that I've made is those the surprises, I guess.
Yeah, I found myself, like, when we released, it was one of our a series of Gathering songs. So we came out with Gathering 1 and Gathering 2. Gathering 1 came out before I was in the band, and then Gathering 2 was the first thing that I recorded on for Carbon Leaf. And when we came out with this song, Smokey Joe of the Poconos, it has very much a train groove, but the song itself, like the lyrics and everything kind of surrounding the song, feels like it should be a train thing. And I remember talking to Barry and saying, like, let's not reinvent the wheel here, just thinking kind of along those lines. And Barry's been really, really great about like, how it is, like, songwriters, they have a vision for something or an idea that they can't necessarily express in maybe like the same musical language, or it's tough for them to get their point across. Occasionally, some people are better at it than others, but nevertheless, they still have like an idea that they want to try to accomplish. And the hardest thing for like a drummer or like, you know, guitar player, I'm sure, is like interpreting that thing and trying to make it into something. So I remember thinking that, all right, let's not reinvent the wheel, because it was kind of frustrating me that that it was just this thing, and then we eventually just kind of half-timed it, and then overdubbed the train thing on brushes. So you're still hearing that, you're still feeling that train thing, but you're getting like a big backbeat in the verses, and it felt cool. I mean, it felt like something I would play or whatever. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I just went off on that tangent, but I like the idea of finding a different path to something that you've heard a million times.
Yeah. And that's and it can be very tricky.
Can be, downright frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in our band, and, in a lot of the song that Scott writes, and it always amazes me the seemingly endless amounts of melodies that he can find over essentially the same chords. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it never sounds like the same song, but then when you go to start like building parts and stuff, then you're just like, oh man, I gotta figure out a new way to play over a 1 and a 4. Right. It's like, wow. So I mean, there's times where that challenge is a fun challenge, and then there's times where you're just like, I have no clue what I'm going to do to differentiate this from any other thing that I've ever played on this.
Do you always build your parts? Like, when you're playing, when I hear you play live, it's like, it doesn't seem like you don't deviate from the song too much. You have a part that you've made and that you've built, and like, that is the fucking thing. Like, that's what we're doing. Do you find yourself like building, does it come easy to build those parts, or is there a lot of like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
I understand what you're asking. Is it easy to figure out the parts and commit to them essentially?
Yeah, I guess. Like, is there much improvisation happening when you're trying to build one of those parts? Is there a lot of moving ideas? Is there like, all right, I played it this way, let me mess around and let's see what this thing does? Or like, does the part kind of like, can you hear it when a song is being written?
It just depends on the time. Sometimes, there's like inspiration. It's like you hear something and you have an inspired thought, and you hear something, or and then. So that's one way it can go. And then there's other times where I'm just like, literally, you're just like feeling around in the dark,
right?
Waiting to stumble on something that sounds or feels good. So it's a lot of times it's sort of improvising, just, sort of feeling around until you land on something that feels like it works. Or right from the get-go, like you find something that's like a part or a motif or something that's like a counter melody, something that's that adds, that's like a counterpoint, which is something that that's usually where I'm looking for as far as a part, and it's gotten over the years, as just doing these things more and more, it's like things come easier. And then, mindset and approach has played a big role in that for me. And, it's in this last record that we've been doing. I've realized maybe it's the age that I am, place that I am in life. But I've really settled on really not caring what anyone thinks of any idea, or, it's like, as long, like, as long as it feels fun and I like it myself and the rest of the guys like it in the band, then that's all we're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether you think about it really hard, if people are going to like it, or you don't think about it, it's not going to make any one person or group of, it's like, it's out of your control. So, you know, we've done things in the past where, you know, when we're writing together, you get in these little sticking points where you're like, well, should that go on that long? Like, and then you start thinking, you're like, well, for the purpose of, you know, the radio or this, that, or whatever, like mapping on what someone else would think about it later for some other application, right. You know, that's never helped us.
Yeah. You shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Or, you know, just like pining over those things and then like compromising because you think that someone else, that might be what someone else wants for whatever reason.
I'm so guilty of that. So guilty.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. But you know, when just now that you've done it so many times, you can look back and be like, when has that ever been like, aha, aren't you glad that we argued about that for an hour and a half?
It never
materializes into something that's like useful.
Which is exactly what happened with that song, with me and Barry arguing. I'm like, yeah, but it's got to be this way. I'm like, no, it's got to be that way. Well, it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, and I mean,
didn't affect record sales.
Yeah, there's always going to be differences of opinion and taste, and that's fine. I'm down to, you know, like debating that stuff is kind of fun,
right?
You know, if you have an idea and like you can articulate why the idea is a good idea, then. But if you can't really, if you're like, well, I don't know, I just like it, then you're like, well, okay, so that's I'm not persuaded.
Yeah, you're on some shaky footing, buddy.
But you know, but yeah, so having like being fully embracing like not giving a shit has been really helpful as well.
I love that. Yeah,
and not in a cop out way either.
Right.
It's like a really, you know, again, it's like I don't want to do it if it's not fun, or you know, if myself or anybody else doesn't get like the, you know, have that warm and fuzzy feeling about it. And it's just like, just leave it be. Let's move on to the next thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's great advice. Like I struggled so much with caring too much about what people thought about if I release some music. Like, for example, I'm going to release a single next month. Really? Yeah. And what's it called? It's called Chemical.
Okay.
And I'll send it to you.
Please do.
I have never released any music on my own. I have written like hundreds of songs. I have recorded stuff. Whatever. It all just lives on a hard drive. And never on the sly had a little SoundCloud page that you never told anybody about. There might be one out there. But the thing is, like, I forgot that I had done it. I forgot that it even existed. It was like from high school or something. So it's out. There is one out there that has songs on it. But I mean, it's garbage from high school. But this I'm actually proud of. I recorded it all myself, with the exception of piano and organ and stuff, recorded by Ty Bailey. Did you ever meet Ty?
He was on the boat with you guys last time.
Exactly.
So he's super rad.
Oh, great. Fantastic dude, fantastic player, all of the above. So he contributed a bit to it and played on it, but I played everything else. I sang and I'm excited about it. And I'm just going to put it out there because I'm tired of worrying about like what people think and whatever. I'm just going to put it out in the world. If people hate it, they can hate it and just not listen to it. If people like it, put it on your playlist. Great.
That's great. Dude, that's so exciting. Congratulations. Well, I'm very much looking forward to hearing it.
Thanks. I need to figure out some artwork and it's it's mastered. It's ready to be uploaded and all that good stuff. I just want to and also now I'm starting to worry about like, oh, well, if I it needs to be just right, I need to release it at the right time. And tell right, yeah, I'm just gonna say fuck it. It's a song.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there. Is what it is, and if no one listens to it, great. If they do, great. So
yeah, I mean, and then just do more, right?
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the last one.
Yeah,
and then I have a cover of the song "Strangers" by the Kinks that I recorded. But there's something. It's along those lines. Like I changed the groove a bit, and it feels like there's something missing. Like I don't have that like that top. Like I don't have that motif or that counterpoint melody in the background, or that kind of like covers some of the space that is pushing it and propelling it forward. So I'm a little bit like, I don't really know what to do with it. Maybe I'll send it to you and you can see if you can do anything.
I would love to hear it.
But yeah, it's those things. I think that's like the best advice ever, is to not care about what people think. Do the thing that you love and just share it, and whatever, and don't read the comments.
Yep. And sometimes very much easier said than done.
For sure.
But again, I think it's with age, maybe it's just like, that the creeping like crankiness, the old man crankiness that's like slowly bubbling up from the depths. There he is.
There's it.
There he is.
This grumpy exterior. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just like, we're all gonna die. So
eventually, yeah.
So might as well have a little fun and release, put something out in the world, hopefully that is cool. So I'm just tired of playing on everyone else's stuff, and like I want some stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that this is just now you're arriving at this point, given that you play and you sing and you write songs, and you've written, sounds like a lot of songs.
Yeah. So, and it's weird because I did it more. It was more of when I was in high school and when I started college, it was way more of an important thing. Like I did it a lot. Like I recorded a lot, and it was a big important part of my life. And then I joined a band in college, and then I was a drummer, and then I was around other people that were kind of writing the songs, and then I was just the drummer, and then taking a back seat, but still having like that. I want to say ego is the best word to describe it, but having that like, I would do it this way, and maybe we should do this, and playing more of that role, but and then now that ego is kind of like subsided, and I don't care as much, and I just throw out my ideas, and if they're used, that's great. If they're not, whatever. And now I'm bringing that part back, that really important songwriting and recording stuff, and which is cool. It feels good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I can't wait to hear the tune.
Yeah, dude.
And
you better like it.
Well, you don't care.
I care a little bit.
Well, you know what?
Just lie to me. You have to lie.
I'll tell you the truth, though. I'd like it a lot more if you would ask me to play on it. Just saying. See,
here's the thing. I can't pay anybody. No.
That's fine.
No,
dude, we're in the I wouldn't ask for payment.
Oh no.
We're like in the friend zone of like, it's one thing to be like, for I feel the same way. It's like I wouldn't be like, hey Jesse, you want to play on my entire record of stuff for free? Because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, I've got this one song, maybe give it a listen, maybe throw some stuff on there,
I would never
don't
play
worry
on
about
it. Dude, don't worry. I would never play on any of your stuff for free. Don't worry. Don't you worry about a damn thing.
Barter system?
Yeah, I've had friends like that. No, of course, no. Yeah, you're in the club. There's I had a buddy, or have a buddy, maybe, I don't know, but I played on.
He doesn't like you anymore?
I don't know. Have no idea. I haven't talked to this person in an alarmingly long time for the amount of time that I've known them and amount of work that I've done with them.
Okay.
And which is kind of crazy, but played on all their stuff for a while, and it was like, you know, you're doing the thing. You're like kind of a professional, not really, and then it turns, and then like. Yeah. You're playing live, it's your livelihood and stuff. So this person, you know, had to start paying me to do their stuff, and it didn't, you know, hurt that you know, the friendship, it turned more from friendship to business relationship,
right?
Which is like unfortunate, but also like kind of necessary in the thing. How did I even get to this? We're talking about who pays for people to play on their records and stuff.
I was saying I want to play on your song that I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, you can absolutely
pay me, and you saying you can't pay me, and then I was saying you don't have to pay me.
Oh, sure, yeah, but you still have to pay me.
Yes,
so you pay me to play on my song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
makes sense.
That's right. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
I know. Seriously, I want you to play on the Strangers tune, because it's like
I'd love to.
It's seriously missing something. It's not mixed, or it's something that maybe the fact that it's not mixed is, and the things that are in there aren't where they should be yet. But there's something at the top end that's missing throughout the song, like an exciting thing that propels the spaces forward. You know what I mean? Gotcha. So I don't know what it is, but you can listen to it.
Send it over. Would love to listen to it, and then listen to. Is it? You said you changed up the feel and stuff. It's like a different angle for the tune.
It's a little different angle. So let me play. I'll play the regular Strangers, because then I'll be able to describe it without playing my version.
Cool.
By the Kinks. I just pressed a button on my computer I have this Stream Deck thing that I use to like switch cameras and stuff. And I just pressed a button. I was telling you that earlier that I do some work for my brother, and I have a button on here that basically starts up all of the stuff that I use. It's like one button that like everything opens up, and I just pressed it by accident, and everything opened up. So now I'm closing everything. All right, here we go. Now I'm back. Oh God, I just wish I was more put together than I am. All right, the Kinks.
You seem pretty put together.
Oh, you're just saying.
Look at that. You even put on a nice shirt. Look at me.
I did. I was like, you know, you're always looking cool. You have the coolest haircut. I had a pair of sunglasses, and I had After the Gig hat with my face on it.
Oh, I love that.
See it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got the palm. It's got the palm on top too. That's a nice touch.
I got the palm, so I can do this from here on out.
It's a good look.
And you know what? I think I'm going to start wearing sunglasses on stage more.
Okay.
What do you think about that? You know who hates it?
Like in your band?
Yeah.
Everybody? John.
John, yep. John's the guy. John's the one. He hates it. I don't know why he hates it.
It's one of the,
I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say.
Well, I'm just trying to like there are people that pull it off and you don't think anything about it.
Sure.
And then there are other guys where you're like, why the fuck is that guy wearing sunglasses inside?
Sure.
And there's no in between.
Right.
It's like, oh, that guy looks cool. Or what is that guy doing?
Right. What do you think about me right now?
Well, I think you look really cool right now, but this is a different context. You're sitting in your sweet, like nicely lit, like room with like the sweet wood paneling.
It's my office.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I got paintings on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. But then,
Thanks.
you know, But then I would imagine that you could then put that same, behind a drum kit
Sure.
in a
I'll
show with,
I'll tell you
with lights and stuff going on. And
Yeah. I'll tell you the real purpose it serves.
what's that?
Why are you laughing?
So you can roll your eyes as many times in the set as you
Yes!
as you want to.
Yes! Dude, I look back at videos of me playing, especially playing guitar and like singing and stuff. My eyes are always looking in a weird spot. I feel like people know, like I'm looking at you right now. I don't think anything weird about where you're looking or, if your eyes dart around. I look at myself. I'm like, why is he like looking around and doing these things? Like I'm looking at stuff and then I look at myself and I'm thinking outside my body and I'm like, he looks like he could give a shit about what he's doing right now. He looks like he's elsewhere, thinking something else, thinking about whatever. That's what I think when I look back at myself.
When you see pictures and video of you performing,
mostly
you seem
video.
like you're,
mostly video.
I think that's it's one of those weird things. When most people watch themselves on video, you're like, what the fuck? Like you look weird. But then if I watch it, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah, see, I don't agree. I think you would. I think you would. I think you'd see a video of me and be like, oh, he's like looking around, or why is he? Yeah. And now I'm looking at myself with the sunglasses and I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel like I could say whatever I wanted to you right now.
There is, whenever, the only times that I wear sunglasses on stage is when we're playing outside and like the sun's in your face. But there's something that's really great about that.
See, I think that's when people shouldn't wear their sunglasses because I think that.
But then you're up there and you're squinting.
Yeah, but it shows weakness.
Okay. So it doesn't show weakness when you put on sunglasses. So then it's like the person on the other side can't look you in the eye and you know that. Sure. And you can stare right through them and you're like, I don't know what you're looking at. Right now you could be like, you could have your eyes closed.
They could be.
You could be looking at the back of your eyelids.
I might be.
You could be looking at Facebook on one of your 9 screens in there.
You caught me. You caught me there.
Scrolling Marketplace.
I'm just looking for things to talk about. I'm gonna wear them for the rest of the time. This is gonna be my new thing. All right, Kinks. Strangers by the Kinks. Strangers by the Kinks.
Let's hear it.
So there's like a bar 2 or something in there. So, or is there? So wait.
I would.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I guess it'd be in 5. It's more just in 5. So
that's cool. Yeah, no, I wasn't counting it all, but it's great. It's one of those songs that it's weird, but it doesn't sound.
Yeah, it doesn't sound weird.
That's in mixed meter.
Right. Yeah, it makes like perfect sense where it's at. But yeah. So the way that I did it.
Gave it a reggae feel. Good call.
Antoine. Where are you going to? Where you go? No. So it's just like that, like, so I brought it up on the neck, capo 5, and then I sing it down. So where you going to, I don't mind. killed my world and I've killed my time. So where are you going to? What do I see? So many people coming after me. So, and then I added some different drums to it. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah.
And then you just
Please.
tell me what you think and what you think it needs. But it has really cool stuff in it. Ty played, the hat's too much. Ty played.
This is.
It's hot down. It's warm. This looks better. This is better. This is good. This is fine.
Yeah. You got a great head of hair. Don't put a hat on it. What are you, nuts?
You have a great head of hair too. You always have a cool haircut. What's it like walking around the world with your haircut? I've been friends with a few people that have had you don't have crazy outrageous hair. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than fine. I'm sorry. It's more than fine. The dude that painted these paintings, I have another one over here that's even crazier. But he used to walk around when I was in college. He would walk around Boston with this crazy like Bob Dylan hair, skinny, always a deep V. He had a tattoo of a diamond on his chest that was always showing. And I never was the kind of person. I'm always like low profile, background, blend in. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine like having, like, do random people come up to you and like just say stuff to you for your hair?
It's less common now because the haircut that I have is like becoming exceedingly more common.
Right.
It's like the mullet thing.
It's an undercut mullet, right? Undercut mullet.
Yeah. That's
how I would describe it. Can I see it? Tight. Can we see it?
Well, yeah. Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
What are we working with here today?
It's nice.
It's
see, even when you were wearing a hat, it still looks good. Do you use product? What kind of product do you got in there?
I use it's like a powder. It's like a
dries it
powder.
up.
Yeah, dries it up, and I use a lot of dry shampoo.
Okay.
I also don't. I wash my hair about once a week.
Yeah, I'm the same way because
I shower more. I shower more than that. I only actually shampoo the hair once a week.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I bet.
So yeah, my hair looks better when it's like not clean, because then it's just
the oils.
It's better. The oils mixed with the dry shampoo then makes it like more ideal. Ideal for my style here.
It's more rock and roll.
Yeah, but I mean, people will give you the thumbs up or say like nice mullet and stuff like that.
Okay.
But now again, I feel like I see it more and more. So now I'm kind of like, oh, well, what's next?
You just go like straight lace, high and tight, normal guy haircut, and then that's like the outsider.
Yeah. There's always like, and depending on what you look like, there's, when you do the real clean cut look, sure, where it's like if you were to like comb it and have like a pronounced part, it could be, it could look a little Nazi.
Especially with your complexion.
Is that a Nazi haircut? Like, I mean, I wasn't supposed to be. I didn't ask for the Nazi, but I guess
you don't want that. Like. Well, I mean, it's just a haircut. It'd be a one thing if you start wearing a Hugo Boss uniform, if you know what I'm saying. That'd be
put on my browns, get my browns on.
That'd be no good. No bueno. No place for that in the After the Gig community.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep the armband in the box in the basement. Were you
upset with when every bro came out with a mustache after watching Top Gun 2?
Yeah. Again, it's like now the haircut and the mustache is very common. But no, I like it because it's
more accepted.
Yeah, it's more accepted, and it's I get a kick out of like, being old enough now where we've seen like multiple different style phases come and go, and now it's totally back to like the mid 80s, like when my dad when I was a little kid, like a little kid, my dad had a mustache.
Right.
And that, like, probably like when Top Gun came out in the 80s, that look was like the look.
Right.
And then it's not been around. It was, it's like if the mustache was an outlier, or like you're being ironic or something hipstery, if you've got the mustache, or you're a cop or a firefighter.
Sure.
Or like, in like the like
Village People or something.
yeah. Or
I mean, they all have mustaches.
That's true. That's
most
true.
Most of them have mustaches.
But now, you see like a bunch of guys in their 20s with mustaches like my dad had when he was in his 20s.
My dad's
like,
had a
we're
mustache
back
for
here.
a long time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, lots of dads hung on to that until like the late 90s, and then shave them off and like look like total bizarre strangers.
It's so crazy. Whenever I go real short with my beard or shave it off, which I haven't actually shaved my beard off in probably 3 years or so. Oh, my son freaks out.
I'm sure.
He's like, Dad? It's so weird.
Yes?
He gets so
like,
weirded out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the thing when he was pretty soon after he was born. I did like the shave it off thing. That was probably the last time I shaved my beard, and he like cried. He would not stop crying. It was awful. It was awful.
So now you have to have you're forced into having a beard.
Forced into having a beard. I like having a beard. I've always wanted to have a beard. I feel like I look normal with the beard. I look exactly like Mario if I just have a mustache. It's rough. I dressed up as Mario for Halloween a few years ago, and it was like spot on.
Cast this man.
Oh yeah.
It's a Mario.
It's a me, a Mario. I just found out last week. I'm loving the sunglasses, by the way. I'm looking everywhere right now. I can look wherever I want. Because before, when I wasn't wearing them, I'm looking at your face is over here. Your face is here. The camera's here. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking down. Like, people are going to watch this video. Like, what is he looking at? So now, when they watch the video, I'm in it. I'm right.
I feel like we're locking eyes right now.
We are.
I'm just looking right at the middle of the screen.
Right. Perfect. It's
Here's
like
the camera. That different camera screen.
Which eye do I look at? Do I look at the nose? Do I look at the eye? The left eye? Do I look at both eyes at the same time, which is impossible?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
Anyway, I look just like Mario, and it was great. It was really, really fun. And now my son and I play a lot of Mario Strikers, the soccer game, on Switch, Nintendo Switch. And I don't let him win ever.
No, I mean he's not gonna learn to win if you let him win.
No, and he gets mad. He's a little crybaby about it. And I say, listen, son, the world is tough, and not everyone is going to let you win Mario Strikers because you'll graduate to FIFA and you'll be playing that with your friends in college. And I'm telling you,
and they will show no mercy.
They will show
no mercy. Rub it in.
They'll rub it in. Yep. And if you start crying, they're going to not invite you around. So you better get better, because if you can't beat me,
you've got no chance out there in the world.
No chance in the real world. That's the truth. It's the harsh truth.
It is. That's a great life lesson. There is merit to video games.
Oh yeah. I love video games. Do you play any video games?
I haven't in a long time. I mean, I loved video games as a kid. My dad was anti-video games.
Sounds like a pretty lame dad.
He was more like, go outside and do stuff. Play a sport.
Looks like you played a lot of sports. Be a man. Hey, cut this wood.
Hey, he's like, go stack this wood. This wood is stacked right here, but you have to go stack it on the other side of the yard.
It's got to go over there. And then tomorrow it's going to go right back over here.
That's right.
And it's going to go inside.
Yeah, one of a punishment would be moving and stacking cinder blocks.
I don't know if it was ever a punishment, but I had to do the same thing at one point. But we always just had like stuff in our backyard. Like, how did dads get all this stuff? in the backyard. Like, where did the bricks come from? There's not one part of this house that is made with that particular brick. Where did you get these cinder blocks? Where did they come from?
That's a great question.
And I get
Same.
it. I mean, I do get it more now. I go to Home Depot almost every day. Almost every day. It's one of my favorite places to go. Looking for the tool deals. I made a birdhouse that
Nice.
dude, I got a miter saw. I've been cutting wood. I've been gluing and screwing, baby. And it's been so much fun. You have no idea. Have you ever done any woodworking projects?
Minimal, but I'll tell you what, I'm about to get fucking up to my eyeballs in woodworking projects. Throwing myself right in the deep end.
Really?
Yeah.
From this conversation, you're inspired?
No. This was I came into this conversation with this mentality, with this
What are you doing?
goal in mind. Well, Jessica and I we're in the process of buying a house. We
You
closed
son of a bitch.
We close on the 5th of December.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm
Thank
so
you very,
happy for
very
you.
much. And great house. We like it very much. But two things I want to do right away. One is paint, and the other is tear out all of the junk ass trim that's in there
Sure.
and replace it with better trim.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Trim
like I
daddy.
said, jumping in the deep end.
Great. You got to
So I've
get
been
yourself a brad nailer, some brad nails. Yeah.
Right.
Are you going to go battery operated? Are you going to go, are you going to get a compressor, air compressor with a hose and go, psh, 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 psh. That's fun. I just got one of those.
That's nice. I mean, I think it's suffice for MDF, medium
Sure.
density fiberboard.
Sure.
So I'll
Careful when
probably
you're
go
cutting
with-
that. Make sure you wear a mask when you cut it. The dust makes a terrible mess, gets everywhere.
Okay.
It's very harmful to your lungs. That's the
Okay.
truth. Make sure you wear a
Good to
mask
know.
if you're ever cutting that.
I will do it in the garage, and I'll do it with a mask. Didn't
Yep.
know that. The guys in the YouTube videos, they didn't say shit about that.
Oh, it makes an awful mess. It's very, very harmful.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but it's
should I
fine.
get the-
It's just trim.
should I
It's
get
just
the-
trim.
Should I get the bag for the miter saw?
It should come with a bag. I would buy a shop vac and I would hook your shop vac up to it.
I have a shop vac.
Yep.
And for the brad nailer, I've been slowly amassing my Ryobi tool set, so I'll probably just get a Ryobi brad nailer.
Sure. People,
For the late duty,
yeah, Ryobi, it's fine. It's fine. I'm a DeWalt guy myself.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, are you one of those Milwaukee guys? That's a nice one. I've got
Thanks.
my drills are Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's great. Milwaukee's good
But
stuff.
given that I am a pedestrian when it comes to, like the tools that I use, like they don't get used a ton.
Yeah.
So I feel like the middle of the road affordability is more what I'm going for.
I'll tell you, as soon as we bought our house, we closed on our house in June, and as soon as we moved in and I had a garage and a shed and stuff, I literally turned into Tim Allen. It's just it's insane what happens to you. It's crazy.
It happened because we moved back to Columbus last year, from apartment living on the East Coast. And so we're here in Columbus in a single family home with a garage. And I got right into it. Well, I had to buy a lawnmower. So that's really what I was, set me into the tool brand that I was going to be in, because I wasn't going to buy a gas mower for this little tiny lawn, deal with all that.
You got the small Ryobi mower.
Yeah, it's like the second smallest.
Okay, my dad just got the small one, and it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And once you're in like the kind of ecosystem, you have the batteries are the most expensive part. So
exactly. So there we go. That's why
All right,
and the rest
we
of my
arrived.
tools, came,
arrived.
the rest of the tools became green after that. So,
Right. They have a great wall mounting system for garage. Very, very good. That's great, man. I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations. Make sure you tell Jess congratulations and stop saying weird words and stuff.
Well, she calls the garage, so that's good. Yeah.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. The other way is brutal. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. This has been a really long one.
Time's flown by.
Really flew by.
It took us an hour to set up.
No, it didn't. I actually have to go. So what I have to do right now, the reason why I have to go so soon, I would love to stay and talk more, but
I have to go too. I'm 20 minutes late to be at the warehouse to load the van with Greg.
You can tell him it's my fault. I thought you were going to say I have to go too. I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, that would have been the clever thing to say, but that would have been not nice.
Nah, that's all right. All right, I'm going to send you this tune. What was I going to say? I was just going to say something. Oh, I have a flat tire on my car. I have a 2022 Subaru Outback. It's like a brand new car, and I'm on my third windshield. I just cracked it again. The roads in Rhode Island are fucking brutal. So there's constantly rocks.
Are they gravel roads? What's going on there?
Yeah, dude. There's constantly fucking rocks and clam cakes and fucking white chowder, like fucking all over the roads.
Ironic for a state named Rhode Island.
I know, fucking awful Rhode Island, more like it.
They can't even spell road right, so that makes sense.
Yeah, a bunch of
fucking idiots.
Bunch of idiots, morons. But there was like this size chunk of metal. It wasn't a nail. It wasn't a bolt or whatever. It was just a fucking huge, like 3/4 width diameter piece of metal in my tire. So I pull it out. I plug the thing. The plug's not working. Air's still getting out. So I need to go put the donut on, drive around like a fucking like a jamoke with a donut on my car like an idiot, and I have to go do that and bring it down the street to the tire place to have them plug or patch it from the inside. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of my day.
Good luck with that. I'm similar annoying task, going and sorting through gear and parsing out stuff to send in a van to Florida so we can play, on a patio at
I love it.
Like a marina.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But
you're just doing the one gig, or are you doing other ones on the way down?
No, just we're all flying and stuff. So it's a nice cush, flying down, hanging out.
Can I go?
Come on down.
Can I go?
Yeah, come on.
Can I play? I'll do the Rototom parts.
Yeah. Do it. Did you find it? Did you find a set on Marketplace?
I got the shirt. Well, I've been looking for the last couple hours while we've been doing this, and I haven't found anything. So I'm just gonna keep looking, and if I find some, I'll let you know.
See if Dean's got a set he wants to let go. He's the guy who seems to find. He's like, I got doubles of that.
He's the guy that's got it all.
He's got triples of the Rototoms.
He's got the hair. He likes to run. He has a furniture shop. He's got a record store. Who the fuck is that guy? Who even is he?
I don't know. Who does he think he is?
Who does he think he is?
Who the hell does he think he is?
God.
All this stuff, being busy.
This guy eating beef at the trough.
Fucking settle down.
Unbelievable. All right. Eric, get out of here. Go load some gear. Great to see you.
Will do, man. Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
All right, I learned a lot.
Likewise. Send me that song.
I will. I'll do it right now.
Cool.
Peace. That's it. That is the conversation with Mr. Eric Hall. What a guy. We learned a lot. I'm going to wear sunglasses from now on because I didn't realize how weird I was about where I looked constantly. But I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Enjoy the music. I think we're going to play Hey 84 by Red Wanting Blue. Enjoy it. Go check them out while they're on tour, and I'll see you later.
Shock me with a kiss right on my mouth. Hey, lightning bolt.